Hey guys, so I made all sorts of mistakes on section 3, example 1 of 4-9's lecture. So the very first mistake I did is I just took this 54 and I moved it over. That is a big no-no, right? So because I have to subtract 54 from both sides in order to keep this the same. Before I do this correctly, so also one mistake I did is I said 54 plus 64, and I said that's 118. But when I broke it up, I don't know why, but I did 2 and 56, but that is not true because 2 times 56 is 112. So this is actually 2 and 59. So going back just for that, the way I did it there, it would have been x minus 8 on a squared. The plus or minus the, for 118, and so if I took x minus 8 equals plus or minus the square root of 118, this would have been as simplified as possible because there are no perfect squares that go into 118 nicely. So the answer would have been 8 plus or minus the square root of 118. However, I didn't do it right anyways. So let's redo this example. So again, I'll probably do this in green. So what are our directions? Our directions are to solve the quadratic equation by completing the square. So going up, following these steps, we want to divide both sides by a, making the leading coefficient 1. So our leading coefficient is already 1, so we don't have to do step 1. Step 2, we're going to isolate the variable terms, okay, by bringing over the constant to the other side. So we're going to subtract 54 from both sides. I do not know why I just brought it over. So this is equal to negative 54, not positive. So now how do you complete the square? That's the next. You're going to take that b, which is negative 16. You're going to divide it by 2, and then you're going to square it. So negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 squared is 64. Okay, so same as last time. So now we're going to add the 64 to both sides. When we do that, so the reason why we did that is because our goal is to make this left-hand side a perfect square trinomial, which it is, and it factors into x minus 8 quantity squared. Okay, and then so negative 54 plus 64, that is 10. So let's do the square root property. So this is x minus 8 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 10. The square root of 10, there is no perfect square that goes into 10 nicely. Even if you broke it up into factors, it is 2 and 5. And they both have a power of 1, which is less than our index. So just add 8 over. Then we get 8 plus or minus the square root of 10. So this is x is equal to x plus square root of 10. And 8 minus square root of 10. So as you can see, this example is actually more simple than I made it. I just like to make my life difficult for some reason. And yeah, so this is how you correctly solve example 1 of the section 3.